Let me tell you about the RCMP in Vernon, British Columbia, Christmas Day. They got a report about a guy weaving in and out on foot of traffic with a handgun, waving it around. He appeared to be very drunk. They went there, and of course, he was very drunk. He was 16 years old and drunk as a skunk. And just before they put him in the back seat of the patrol car, of course, they patted him down, and on his person, he had crack cocaine and what else? Crystal meth and a whole bunch of money. I mean, what happened to the kid? I don't know that story, but I can tell you pretty much he probably enjoyed Christmas Day with his family because he's underage, and typically they don't get their wrist slapped very hard, and they certainly, you know, if they do, it doesn't last very long. Several years ago, I owned a resort in Edmonton, Alberta. It was called Half Moon Lake Resort. Several years ago, probably about 12 years ago, I happened to be there one day, and there was always about 1,000 campers, and a woman came rushing in, and she said, there's somebody out here Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, with an axe. He's threatening people's lives. I ran out there to see, and it turned out, I found out later, the boy was 17 years old, very similar to this story, drunk as a skunk and waving this axe around. In his case, it was actually attacking people. I ran up to him, and as I put the axe down, he wouldn't. He attacked me. I smacked him, took the axe away, and held him there and told some campers to go and phone the police. And he was foul-mouthed, and he kept using the four-letter word, and I said, shut up, there's kids everywhere. He wouldn't shut up, so I slapped him. He still wouldn't shut up. I slapped him again. He says, you can't slap me. I'm 17. I'm underage. Slapped him again. This went on for so long, my hand was sore. I found out later that he had so much cocaine in him that you couldn't shut him up or hurt him. He was very powerful. I don't think he was 5'2" and 100 pounds, but all those slaps and he was still ready to go. Anyway, the very next day, after the police came there, arrested him, took him away the very next day, guess who I see walking around the resort? Him. He was there. His mother had a trailer there. So back to that story with the 16-year-old in Vernon. Where's justice when you need it? Alberta, the Wildrose Party now has named an interim leader after the leader, Danielle Smith, and 8 other caucus members bolted across the floor and did that unethical, probably or hopefully illegal thing that's to be determined. In any event, the person now, the woman who's in charge of the party, she's a former Solicitor General for the PC party at Alberta, and she crossed the floor to the Wildrose Party from the other party, and she's now the leader. Do you see any irony there? Is it just me? What is going on? And she goes on to say, hey, this is a terrible day for democracy. Albertans feel hurt. Do you think? And you did it too? I mean, who's running this ship? I mean, the Titanic, it's here. I mean, I want to change seats. Is that kind of what's going on? The GOP, the grand old party, the Republican Party, says this to me in their recent email to me. Brian, 2014 was an historic year for all of us. Republicans now hold 54 U.S. Senate seats, 246 House seats, 31 governorships, 4,100 state legislative seats, 69 of the nation's 99 state legislative chambers, and more than half of the nation's lieutenant governors, attorneys general, secretaries of state, and state treasurers. There will be change. Wow, it's kind of about time. In Sydney, Australia, I have a son that's over there right now, as a matter of fact, but in any event, digressing back to this, the mayor there, deputy mayor actually, says, we need to change the law. I was on side years ago to get rid of guns. People shouldn't have guns. I've come out of the ether now. People should have guns because a lot of incidents, a lot of things going on here, and we're not allowed to defend ourselves, and I too want to have a gun. December 15th, the hostage situation kind of pushed me over the edge, and why would we give the advantage to the bad guys? They're the criminals. We're not. Gun control enables the bad people to carry out their agenda in a happy, easy way for them, not so much for us. Thank goodness we finally got a person that's got a mind, or is coming back at least. I like it. Canada, all of you other countries, are you paying attention? Canada, Vancouver, Canada, typical left-wing stuff here. Last story of the day, don't leave me, here it comes. This one will give you cause for pause, pause for cause. Vancouver's deputy building inspector, they're in charge of permits, right? This lady, Carly Edwards, her job is to uphold Vancouver's building bylaws. She's recently resigned. She quit because she was going to get fired because she was doing all kinds of renovations in her home. And guess what? Of course, she didn't have a permit. Of course, she didn't. She earns $140,000 a year plus all kinds of little perks and things. So basically, she got fired. She got a 6-month severance pay for breaking the law. Politically, right is right, left is wrong, and if you don't have a mind, you should probably join the left-wing party. Hey, y'all, come back here tomorrow. We've got more for you from the right. See ya.